So this, but all other religious groups have done complete freedom to use that. So that is one of my major this thing. And this connect, again, this whole system of Hindu technique, that how do you do that? This man who was sitting in a cave, and suddenly he burst into social service. And those dialectics are amazingly available throughout the thing. Where the atomic bomb was exploded, just 5 kilometers from there is one of the finest cattle breeding ground in India I've ever seen, where at least 20 to 30,000 cattle's nasl is being sudharing by a man who lived in a cave for 15 years in the desert. And suddenly he has one of the finest cattle farm in the country, better than any government farm. And he had the vision to have one of the largest collection of books I've ever seen in my life, respecting even the National Library. So this man who is coming from a cave, and suddenly, and only last month he is dead, he's known as Bhagariya Baba. I don't think anybody has heard about him. Or when Baba Ramdev connects, then a lot of people around the world breathe health and happiness. Or when a Vienna trained Indologist sitting right in front of me connects with a guru sitting right here. What happens? Taral Balu becomes a shining phenomenon. And what I conclude with is that religious Hindu organizations, just on a side, because that connects to me, I represent an ashram which has helped in last 16-17 years in the district of Bargarh, Nuapada, Sambalpur, etc. Very humbly, more than 10,000 families have come up economically just on the basis of sheer Vaishnav ritualism. Forget about any spirituality or anything. Rigorous Vaishnav ritualism has helped them to come up. Vish Hindu Parishad wanted to jump on the bandwagon. The local chief minister wanted to jump, but our leader said nothing doing. It is people's movement and it will go on. But at the same time, the same ashram has the scheme of revisiting the whole Krishnite, Vaishnavite intellectual tradition, which is doing for last 21 years. And finest team of scholars from all faiths are revisiting Krishna as a phenomena, as one of the foundations of intellectual movement and cultural movement of India. And several volumes have come out of it. So that is happening. The revival of the Drupad music and things like that. So all this is happening. But that is a little note on my self-glory, and you should pardon me for that. But what I also see very interestingly, that these Hindu religious organizations, when they failed, they gave us something very important. And that is, when they failed, they fought. They went into disputations. And I tell you, these disputes are the repository of the most important documents of revisiting our history of religion and society and economy. Even a committed Marxist like Irfan Habib, he said, if these temples in Vrindavan had not fought, my history of medieval Mughal period, and especially the economic and agrarian history, would have been completely lopsided and ridiculously wrong. So that is another very interesting flip side. Thank you so much again.
Well, what shall I say? I have participated in many conferences, both in India and abroad, but those conferences and seminars have been, in my field, academic field, Sanskrit and Indological studies. For the first time, I'm participating in a seminar with encountering with the social scientists. Sitting here, just diametrically opposite to Srivastava Goswamiji, I'm reminded, I recollect just a shloka in Sanskrit. I think it was quoted by one of the participants. Here I don't know who quoted it. Shivasya hridayam Vishnuhu, Vishnoho hridayam Shiva. The heart of, in the heart of Lord Vishnu, Shiva is there, and in the heart of Shiva, Vishnu resides. So that reminds me of our relationship between Sirigere and Vrindavan, and he being a Vaishnava, and I being a Veerashaiva.